Well, for years I've been writing books critical of our news media and our media system and the problems that the media system presents to us. A lot of issues we're talking about here, war and peace, democratic self-government. And the logic of my argument has always been, well, the system is the result of corrupt policies, and if people participated in the policy making, we would have a much better system. But it always seemed very hypothetical. Yeah, sure, you can change the system, but no one really cares about media. That's way down the list. These big media lobbies that control the policy making are too powerful. You can never win a fight with them. They own politicians from both sides of the aisle. It's a hopeless fight. And so I make one case, I make a theoretical argument. In the other case, it seemed like politically an absurd argument, at least in the immediate visible horizon of U.S. politics. Even though in other countries similar to this, media politics are an issue in the political life of the country. It's not an abstract issue in other countries. And I think all this really began to change a couple of years ago with the big media ownership fight when the Federal Communications Commission attempted to relax the few remaining core media ownership rules governing how many radio and TV stations a single company can have and what other media they can purchase if they own radio and TV, what's called cross-ownership. Can they use their profits from these monopoly licenses to gobble up all the newspapers in the country and really buy up as much as they want? And what we saw then was, I think, a historically unprecedented upsurge of interest in media policy in this country. And it's like a light switch went on for millions of Americans. And during the course of 2003, 2.7 million Americans contacted either the FCC or Congress to register opposition to relaxing media ownership rules to media concentration. It was a stunning shift that I didn't anticipate, to be honest. I confess I was delighted by it. And I helped form a group called Free Press that was launched in 2003. We started with one person sleeping on the floor of someone's house in Northampton, Massachusetts. Today we've got 15 full-time organizers working. We've had 2 national conferences. We've got the website, freepress.net. We're working on issues like Piola punditry to get the government to stop spending $200 million on propaganda under the table, putting fake journalists in newsrooms, paying off journalists to take stories, while they're only spending $300 million on public broadcasting, radio and television. In an outrageous situation. We go through the public budget, there's discussion of that. This $200 million gets spent without any discussion. There's a whole range of issues that we're organizing around. But what's striking is in January 2003, I was at a Senate Commerce Committee meeting on media ownership. This was before the explosion of interest. And a senator there from Nevada, John Ensign, and I don't know if anyone here is familiar with this esteemed public servant, but if you ever saw the film The Godfather 2 and you remember the senator from Nevada, this guy's, I think, a dead ringer. And John Ensign stood up and he said, all these people were testifying about the problems of media ownership, and they were talking about the absolute elimination of journalism in community after community where radio stations have been gobbled up by these chains. And he said, well, I'll have you know that in my entire history as a politician, I've never heard a single person complain about media policy. That's just not an issue anyone cares about in this country. Everyone's perfectly happy with it. And I'm sure he was telling the truth then. I bet he'd never heard that. But I can tell you by December of 2003, there wasn't a single member of the U.S. Congress who could say that. And there isn't going to be ever again a member of the U.S. Congress who will serve a term who will be able to say that. That's a dramatic change that we've had in the past 2 or 3 years. But the point is, 5 years ago, media reform wouldn't have made the top 10 list. 10 or 15 years ago, it wouldn't even been a choice. It would have been unthinkable for media policy. People just took it for granted. The media system was like the Rocky Mountains. No one would organize a demonstration against the Rocky Mountains because they get in your way. So you're stuck with them. That's what's changed. Now people understand this isn't a natural system. It has nothing to do with the Founding Fathers. It has nothing to do with free markets. It's a result of corrupt policies, and we can organize to change them.